Monday, December 9th, 2024. How about that? We want to call our workshop session to order. The first discussion, progress, and update regarding 2024 city projects.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I just wanted to update you on some of the projects that were approved for the fiscal year 23-24 budget and where we sit on those projects. Staff has been having bi-weekly meetings with the Hostess House for the restoration project. The most recent completed milestones include the installation of all environmental, fire line, new framing on ground floor, existing flooring patched, mechanical pads and plumbing in the new building. Currently, the crews are working on roof demolition, framing and underlayment installation, framing of riser room walls, new plumbing, new electrical, and new mechanical rough-in. The contractors have completed a mock-up of the stone to be used on the exterior of the addition, the elevator shaft that really fits nicely with the existing stone that's there, so I think that's going to be a great match. And currently we're looking for completion in the August 2025 range for that. On streets projects, the first phase of the Second Street reconstruction project is estimated to be 80% complete with an anticipated completion date in March of 2025. The Western Street culvert replacement project is also 80% complete with completion scheduled for the end of this year. At the airport, we're still waiting for an update from the contractor for the delivery for the airport fuel tank that will be going in out there. We also have an airport advisory board meeting this week on the 11th for final input on the Lampasas airport layout plan for submission to TxDOT and the FAA. For water, the 24 projects, the looping on Live Oak from 5th to 7th was completed by city staff, and the looping on Live Oak from north to 2nd was completed as part of the 2nd Street rehabilitation project. We have a meeting on December 12th with Jason Jones for an update on ongoing studies and projects in the water division. And for wastewater, you'll recall at a recent meeting you approved the purchase of generators. That was use of ARPA funds that the city had received. We anticipate that funding for the installation of those generators will be included in the FY26 budget cycle, and don't have a delivery date for those generators yet, but that'll be in the coming year. We did have some funds allocated for some trail extensions, thanks to a grant from LCRA and also an extensive grant from the Lions Club. There was some trail improvements and some exercise equipment installed and done at the 580. We believe that the volunteers still have a little bit more work to do on the trail system, and fun story, there's like 3 different trails projects going on at the same time, so getting a handle on all those ongoing projects, but there's a lot of good work going on those. And I got an update on the 281 South project from TxDOT. The contractor plans to switch traffic phases at the first of the year, and they anticipate completion around the end of 2025, so December 2025.
Any questions for her? Well, looks like need a motion to adjourn workshop session. So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All rise. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we're particularly grateful during this time of the season as we prepare to celebrate your Son, Jesus Christ, and his birth. We're grateful to be in this community. We thank you for all of us in this room tonight. We ask that you be with us as information is shared and decisions are made, that we can do the best we can to do good things for all your people. As always, we ask that you be in safety till we can meet us again. And in Jesus' name, as always, amen.
Please join us in the pledges. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty
have, next on the agenda is 1.1, citizens comment. Any citizen who desires to address the city council on a matter not included on the agenda may do so at this time. The city council may not deliberate on items presented under this agenda item. And the first one that we have up is Randy Taylor.
I'm bringing my entourage with me to answer questions that I don't know the answers to. So, Shirley Blake, she's been a resident here 48 years. Bill Henderson, I think he was probably born here and been here constantly the whole time. And then we got Jim Koser. He's been here since 2016. And I'm Randall Taylor. A resident in New Braunfels for 49 years, and we moved here about 5 years ago. I'm not a resident of the city, but I am of the county. So, with that said, we are the Building and Grounds Committee for the First Presbyterian Church. We're your neighbors, right across the street here. And the problem is there's a 6-foot wide sidewalk that runs on the north side of our building. That's at Chestnut and 3rd Street. And the concrete there is in such poor repair, it has dislodged approximately 2 inches. This is not ADA compatible, and I know y'all are trying to meet requirements for ADA, and y'all are doing a lot of concrete work. But we had an individual fall the other day, and we've got an older congregation, probably a median age in the neighborhood of about 75 to 80 years. And many of them, or several of them, are on walkers. And if they come across there and they fall, I can only speculate that there's a possibility of breaking a hip. And as you know, with an older person, once that hip is broken, you head downhill, way down. And we've been in to meet with the city manager. We had our building and grounds meeting last Thursday, and we were supposed to be informed by Wednesday, and I have yet to be informed. We're just saying that it's your property, it's your sidewalk, and it's a hazard, a latent hazard for the pedestrians that are residents, visitors, and our congregation. And for Spring Hoe, we've got the busiest corner in town. We're wall-to-wall people. So with that said, we're making a request that y'all take care of that hazard before we get somebody hurt seriously. With that, there's already been falls.
Okay.
And
Well, go ahead if you have just a little while longer. I can give you some leniency here, Randy.
well, I appreciate that very much. The ADA allows for as much, a maximum of a ½ inch. And we're pushing 2 inches, and it's dark. We've got shade trees overhead. The sidewalks are mildewed, and it tends to hide itself. That's why I say it's a latent hazard. And there are 2 joints in there that are extremely hazardous. And we sure don't want to lose any of our congregation because we're in a descending population as we speak. We're getting older and fewer of us. And so with that, I just please ask that you do something about it, especially being saying you've got a contractor literally right around the corner. So, and I'm co-chair, as Bill is as well. And so, Bill, you might.
I'm not gonna say much, but I will say this, that, that's a very busy corner you got across our street. You got a lot of people. That's probably one of your busiest corners in town right now. With the funeral home, They have a lot of funerals there, and somebody trip, it ain't gonna be good, it'll be more than dollars at the end. And that's about all I've got to say.
Well, then, whenever they remodeled that street, all along the funeral home has already been replaced. That was done about 3.5, 4 years ago. And we didn't get our side. You can pick it up from there.
Well, I heard that the money had to be used somewhere else, that's what I heard, so. I don't know. It needs to be addressed, that's the thing.
I appreciate you guys coming in
Yeah.
and bringing that to
We
council's
appreciate it.
attention. Thank you. Appreciate y'all. And we have a gentleman by the name of Eddie Bowden.
Amen. Thank y'all. I just want to thank y'all for an opportunity to address the council. I wanted to talk a little bit about the recent stakeholder meeting we had. I think it was a big success, especially as it relates to the ways the council, administration, and staff continue to find ways to involve and invite community participation. And it's especially important and commendable that the Lampasas City Council continues to explore methods that enable Lampasas to not only move forward, but to thrive. One of the key points I wanted to bring up tonight and thoughts from that meeting were the challenges of communication and how best to make information available to all citizens. You know, at our table, we talked about texting, emails, etc., and it was unanimous. We all hate group text. So at another table, one gentleman, an older gentleman, face to face. So it's impossible. It's a big challenge to communicate these days. The more opportunities, ways we have to communicate, the harder it is to communicate sometimes, it seems like. That, one of the key points, that's what I'm talking about. That being said, I want to propose this, I would like to propose this for future meetings of all kinds, whether they're advisory meetings, council's already done it, EDC meeting. I think that all advisory boards should be allowed and expected to use council chambers for their meetings. These meetings can be live streamed. Reports, PowerPoint presentations, slides, photos, etc. can be shared on the monitors during the meeting. Microphones for board members will allow better audio for audience in attendance, as well as those that might be watching from home. And especially important, the City Council's executive session room could be used when executive session meetings are required. This would allow community members in attendance to wait in the council chamber instead of outside. Many citizens are interested these days and care about decisions that wind up being made in open sessions, and are willing to wait and should be afforded the comfort of staying inside. These changes will continue to promote and demonstrate transparency and accountability. The audio and video recording will provide a historical record and point of reference for all future council members and board members, as well as citizens. I still have a few seconds. So lastly, this isn't on my handout, but we got a really big meeting coming up Wednesday night, the Airport Advisory Board. And the last minutes I've been able to find were from about 16 months ago, when the process all started on this master plan or the layout plan. And I may have my facts wrong because it's hard to find information, but as I understand it, it could involve an $8 million project that TxDOT could fund 90% of it. I think there's an impending deadline that's facing us. And I don't know what that deadline is. I know y'all can't act on that or anything, but that meeting is Wednesday night, and I don't think it would take a council decision, a motion, or a second or anything to ask them to meet in the council chamber. Really, that's all I have. I don't need to go on any longer. Again, it's just the idea of, we've got the facilities. It's so hard for me to hear. I wear hearing aids and I can't hear well in those downtown chambers. And I just think it'd be a great service to the community to conduct all these advisory meetings. You know, $8 million project, and we can't, there's a 25-page, for Wednesday night's airport deal, there's a 25-page document with a lot of color slides and everything. I just think it'd be helpful to have those up. And they may have already planned to do that in another setting, I don't know, but again, this is the easiest way to do it, would be in this setting. And I don't think this is hollow ground, so.
What you're saying, Mr. Bowden, is transparency is what you're looking for.
Well, I think it's already there. It makes it so the historical recording of it though is like, there's two councilmen not here tonight. It'd be so easy for them to review these meetings. It'll be easier for them to review this meeting. They can get online and look at it. You can't do that with any other type of board meeting. So it's important, I think. So, that's all I got. Thank y'all. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
God bless us, everyone. Turn up these.
1.2, citizens comment. Any citizen who desires to address the city council on the matter that is included on the agenda may do so at this time. Oh, that was Mr. Bat. Oh, okay. Public hearing to receive citizens' comment to request vacate, abandon, and convey Hoover Street unimproved and unopened to the public located west of Lot 1, Block 21 of NSQ Survey Abstract 299, GC and SF, addition to include the north road of Avenue K, unimproved and unopened to the public. This area is commonly known as 1204 McLean Street, Lampasas.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So yes, this item is placed on the agenda to consider the abandonment and vacate and convey. I will briefly go through some notes with you. Also, if you look at page 10, 11, and 12, I gave you 3 different varieties of views so you can kind of see what we're referring to as far as the unopened and unimproved Hoover Street portion. So the Hills purchased this property on almost 2 acres in August of 2023. They did go through the proper channels. They did, hire an attorney. They did go through the paperwork. But for whatever reason, this Lot 1 was not identified that the house was sitting outside of it. So the city issued a building permit for the Hills in December of 2023. The project completed and the CO was issued in June of 2024. They converted what was previously a lean-to into an actual barn-dominium. It's their livelihood at this point. In August, September 2024 timeframe, doing some survey or title work, it was found that the Hills' newly renovated home was outside of Lot 1. This was not captured by the previous survey or deed work. It was done in August of 2023. So staff worked with Maples regarding the survey, field notes, and warranty deeds that were provided at the time when they originally purchased it. Staff reached out to various utility companies to verify the abandonment will not affect any utilities in the right of way. There have been no conflicts documented or provided to me at this time, so as far as utilities are concerned, there are no conflicts. And then the 4 property owners, including the Hills, have been notified of the request to vacate, abandon, and convey, and to date, staff has not received any opposition. This was heard before the Planning and Zoning Commission on December 5th, and they did recommend approval. So at this time, I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Motion on this one.
No, sir. Great, thank you.
2.1, discussion and possible action concerning the approval of minutes from the community stakeholders meeting held on November 13th, 2024.
I didn't see any changes, recommend approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Discussion and possible action concerning approval of minutes on the regular meeting held on November 25th, 2024.
I moved to approve the minutes. I don't see anything wrong with them.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Consent agenda 3.1, discussion and possible action regarding purchases and charges in excess of $4,000 from November 1st, 2024 through November 30th, 2024. Discussion and possible action regarding the second reading of the ordinance to amend the city's information technology policies and procedures referred to and adopted by ordinance in the city of Lampasas personnel policies specifically prohibiting the installation of TikTok or another covered application on any device owned by the city of Lampasas.
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Routine matters, 5.1, city manager's operational report.
Thank you again, Mayor and Council. For our Public Works Division, the Streets Department has been wrapping up their brush stripping for the year, so they'll be done with that this month. The Water Division has been fielding phone calls regarding the lead and copper line replacement notices that were sent out that we discussed at our last meeting, but it's been a great conversation with our customers. So that's been going well. And tree trimming for the Electric Division will begin December 16th in the northeast section of town. The Electric Department has now hired a new employee. I believe they are fully staffed at this time. We do have some interviews coming up for the open assistant city manager position later this week. The golf course manager has reported that play picked up in November thanks to the nice weather that we had during the month. And their maintenance has slowed down slightly, just the changes in the season. But staff is keeping busy pre-emerging the course, spot treatments, and they're planning a small water line extension near the rear of the shop so they can wash more carts off of it, just help them be more efficient out there. The Chiefs had a great volunteer fire department toy drive that they hosted early last week. Lots of folks came out to donate toys, lots of folks came out to enjoy the wonderful food, so a big thank you to their staff for accommodating that in conjunction with the volunteer fire department. The police department reported another successful tri-county motorcycle ride with no incidents, so that happened recently. And just something to be aware of as we're moving into the future and looking at the big picture for Lampasas is that the fire department is reporting a steady increase in the number of calls year after year. So just they're doing a great job handling it, but just something that we need to be mindful of as we move into the future. That's really all I have for operational.
Mayor's comment, I have a few comments just tonight. I think our next regularly scheduled council meeting on the 23rd will be canceled. And so I wanted to take this time and thank our council for you guys' service. It's day in, day out. And I wish you guys and your families a great Merry Christmas, as well as our staff here that works for the city of Lampasas and everything that you guys do day in, day out. We're thankful to have a new city manager, Aaron, come on board, and we support you 100% in all your endeavors. And Merry Christmas to our staff, and last but not least is we want to thank you, God, to our great citizens. It's just amazing to me. We just got finished with Vision Lampasas. Just how many volunteer hours that it takes. I see Janet sitting out there and her volunteer hours at the community gardens and just what it takes to keep a small town running and thriving and just the great family atmosphere and care that we have here in Lampasas. And I don't think anybody would trade it for the world. And Merry Christmas. You guys. Thank you. Next up is 7.1, discussion and selection of website photo contest.
I move to submit entry number 5 for the photo contest.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So the motion carries.
Yes.
7.2, discussion possible action regarding the first reading of an ordinance amending the adopted budget for the municipal government of the city of Lampasas, fiscal year end 23-24.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Working at year end and getting the books closed out. This was part of going through the budget and finding out actually where we ended up at the end of the year. You can see the electric department ended up very well. And so in using their balance, the water wastewater did have a shortfall. So the electric department can cover that shortfall for the water wastewater. We did, during budget, approve to take $190,000 out of general fund balance to take care of the street project. And also, what we've done in years past is move a little bit extra over to general fund to make sure that we have healthy reserves in the general fund. And so if you look at the budget amendment, it does show all of those options. And still leaving a good fund balance for the electric department.
I move to approve the first reading of an ordinance amending the adopted budget for the municipal government of the city of Lampasas for the fiscal year of October 1st, 2023 through September 30th, 2024.
Second.
Any discussion, any questions?
Do we know where the shortfall came from?
There was a balance of different things. Finley actually wrote that up pretty good. We were a little bit shortfall on our wastewater revenues.
We're at $500,000. It's not a little.
Well, there was more to it. Finley, you want to help add to this?
If you'd like.
So, I'm sorry. So we did fall significantly shorter than anticipated in water revenues. So we didn't sell as much water to our customers. And then the cost of purchasing water was higher than anticipated. So it was a little bit of a perfect storm in that revenues weren't as high as we had budgeted for, but expenditures were higher due to a variety of reasons. And our wastewater revenues did fall short as well, but that's kind of a direct correlation with the amount of water usage.
Thank you.
Do we have to send $500,000 to the general fund just FYI?
We do not.
That's a lot of money that we've taken out of coffers that we could invest with, obviously. It's a pretty substantial amount. How much do you need to?
There isn't really a set amount to need. We've done in years past, we've done $250,000, we've done $400,000. This is just to ensure that we still have a healthy balance.
And do you recall how much we did last year? Sounds like this is an annual thing.
It is an annual thing. I don't believe, I had to look last year. I don't recall off the top of my head.
And this 190, that was part of that unbalanced stuff down there by Ajimoto that picked up right at the end.
Correct. We talked during budget, yes, that we were gonna take the 190 that we didn't spend this last year in the street department and moved it over to this year for 24-25.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. 7.3, discussion of possible action to consider a request to vacate, abandon, and convey Hoover Street unimproved and unopened to the public, located to the west of Lot 1, Lot 21 on N.S. Hughes Survey, Abstract 299, GC, and FSF addition to include the north row of Avenue K, unimproved and unopened to the public. This area is commonly known as 1204 McLean Street, Lampasas, Texas.
Mayor and Council, this item was discussed during public hearing. At this time, asking for a motion to consider approval of the abandonment, vacating, and convey.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
And 7.4, discussion and possible action to improve the solid waste exclusive franchise agreement between the city of Lampasas and Frontier Texas Ventures for service to begin May 2025.
Mayor and Council, back in February 2024, Council directed staff to move forward with requests for proposals for solid waste. At July 22nd meeting, Council directed staff to enter negotiations with the highest ranking firm at the time, which was Frontier Waste Solutions. Staff along with legal counsel and representatives from Frontier Waste Solutions have vetted, reviewed, and agreed upon the solid waste contract between the City of Lampasas and Frontier. At this time, I'm asking for consideration of approval. The contract between the City of Lampasas and Frontier Texas Insurance LLC for solid waste services to begin on May 1st, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? I think we have a representative here from Frontier.
There you go.
Do you want to say anything to us, or?
Just thank you.
Well, we thank you, and if there's anything we can do to make your job better, let us know. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.